It's an eye-opening wonderland, a land seething with fertility and mortality and evolutionary intensity. Costa Rica is one of the world's rarest and most beautiful lands. From the beaches where leatherback sea turtles build their nests, to the jungles where amazing animals climb, crawl, and fly, to the towns and villages where people welcome visitors and share their excitement about this land. For young travelers, there is no better place on earth to see and touch, to help and to learn, to enjoy and to grow.
It's really a learning experience. It's like, you know, your classroom in the rainforest, on the beach with the turtles. They are learning all the time. It's a fantastic experience.
We have a good combination between, in a 10-day trip, they will do like 4 days of real work, like reforestation, like building some facilities for the Indians, for the high school. But we try to make it fun because if you don't have fun, you don't learn.
Should I kiss it?
Yeah. It's so much more than a tour. The children I put on the plane at the end of this trip were not the same children we arrived with.
The half-hour boat ride down the Pakwari River and its canals is a journey through an Eden of animals, birds, and plants. But this journey isn't just about sightseeing. At the mouth of the Pakwari, on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast, lies an isolated stretch of beach accessible only by boat. Where river meets ocean, a group of EcoTeach volunteers from England is working with local residents to create, well, it's not immediately obvious what they're creating.
We're actually clearing the beach for hopefully turtles to come up onto the beach and nest here.
Soon this will be the Pakwari Turtle Station. The beach will be clear of debris so leatherbacks can lay their eggs here. There will be cabins and a kitchen and dining hall. It will be another base from which humans can protect the endangered leatherbacks who lay their eggs here.
If you see the map of Costa Rica, there are basically 6 different sea turtle projects all over the Caribbean side of the country, except here. So there's a huge gap. The idea of opening this place is just to have people here, either volunteers or EcoTeach groups, so poachers do not take over this section of the beach.
They're poaching for the eggs, and they use the eggs as an aphrodisiac. They've been using them for many, many years, and it's really hard to come up and say don't use them. It's part of their culture. They put it with their local alcoholic beverage called guaro, and they down that with the eggs.
The demand for turtle eggs, especially leatherback eggs, is so great that on some beaches not a single egg has escaped the poachers. But on this night, even as bars are serving up turtle egg concoctions to men who believe the myth, volunteers and EcoTeach groups are preparing to patrol nearby beaches and find the eggs before the poachers do. It's just past dark in the coastal village of Parismina. For decades, this town has been a major center for turtle egg poaching. Today, with the help of EcoTeach and groups like this, the community has mobilized to help the sea turtles and protect their nests. For the next 3 hours, in pitch darkness, the EcoTeach group will patrol a stretch of beach where turtles come to lay their eggs. It's an experience like none they have ever had.
It was completely dark out there. We had no flashlights, so most of us were tripping over branches and rocks and, you know, and just a lot of the debris out there. And I think most of us expected to stay dry, too.
The darkness is necessary because lights would scare the turtles from the beaches. Fortunately, the groups are led by villagers. Some of them are former poachers who are now paid to patrol these beaches and apparently to see in the dark.
Couple months working every night, your eyes, they get accustomed to the dark. So you can see it absolutely the difference between a log and a turtle.
No turtles yet. You guys see
We saw
anything?
there's a turtle track up there
Yeah.
where a turtle went out of the water, checked it out, didn't like it, and so she went back in the water. It's big. It looks like a four-wheeler. It looks like somebody drove a four-wheeler out of the water and back in.
And then, in the gloom, a huge, dark shape is glimpsed by one of the guides.
Leatherbacks average about 5 to 7 feet in length, and they weigh on average 1,000 pounds. It's a huge animal that's been around for hundreds of millions of years, is still coming up to the same beaches to nest. So she always comes out at night. She makes her way up the beach, away from the high tide line to the area roughly around here, which is the berm area. And this is an area that's away from the high tide, that's not going to be disturbed by the waves.
She will dig a large hole, a nest. And that's when the humans get to
Try and catch as many as possible.
catching the eggs before they land in the sand. When laying her eggs, a leatherback turtle becomes oblivious to everything but the task of species survival. By staying behind her head, by using only a dim red light, the humans are invisible to her. They can catch her eggs, they can even measure her size. For the moment, she has become an egg-laying machine.
A female will come and lay about 80 fertile eggs around 5 to 7 times over a season, and she'll do that every 2 to 3 years. So that's a huge number of eggs. 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will make it to adulthood. And basically, that's a way of trying to ensure that at least some make it.
And with her night's work complete, the ancient animal returns to the sea, unaware that human midwives will be protecting her eggs from poachers and predators.
There's nothing like standing on the beach in front of a magnificent, enormous creature from the sea that's one of the most endangered animals on the face of the earth. And to see my students be so overwhelmed with emotion and awareness was one of the most life-changing experiences of my life.
These hatchlings don't know it, but they've already been living sheltered lives. For 2 months, they have grown within a shell, beneath the sand, behind a fence. After night beach patrols, the rescued eggs are buried in hatcheries where they can be monitored and protected from human and animal enemies. This is Estación Las Tortugas, an isolated facility on the Caribbean coast, established by environmentalist Stanley Rodriguez Mendez with the help of EcoTeach, and devoted to both saving and understanding the turtles.
These are just round wire mesh cages that go down about 80 centimetres, and we've put them there for crabs, because crabs predate really heavily on the nests. So we try to do this comparison so you can see the hatching success rate with the wire mesh cages and without.
Research is an important part of the work here, understanding the turtle's life cycle and learning how to protect them.
That little pouch that it has there is a yolk sac, and that keeps the hatchling going for the first few days.
EcoTeach volunteers and supporters helped finance and build this lab and education center. And by helping patrol the beaches and paying for their room and board, EcoTeach travelers are helping make the station an amazing success.
When the station started up, there was about 100% poaching. And now with the hatchery and all the protection and the groups coming in and helping out, we got it down last year to 0.65%.
Estación Las Tortugas reflects the EcoTeach philosophy of sustainable tourism, experiencing a land, helping a cause, without disrupting a culture. It seems to be working. Stanley Rodriguez Mendez, his staff, and EcoTeach travelers have released over 25,000 hatchlings into the ocean.